Caitlin Clark sat down with one of the greatest in Sue Bird. They talked all things Caitlin Clark, her career, Iowa, the Indiana Fever. But Caitlin Clark, let it be known, she does not like this Stephanie White offense, how these players in the WNBA don't even know where to move or how to move or where to cut. And that leads to a lot of her turnovers. And she also states how much she misses Lisa Bluter. And I think all of us Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark fans prefer if Lisa Bluter was the head coach of the Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark, a name synonymous with record-breaking shots and electric plays. The undisputed #1 pick. But what if she wasn't destined for Indiana? What if the ping pong balls had bounced differently? Tonight, a bombshell revelation straight from Clark herself. The one WNBA team she prayed wouldn't draft her. We dive deep into her candid conversation with legend Sue Bird. Plus, the Fever battle on without their superstar. Can they hold the line? And what made LA such a no-go zone? And Clark, the face of the Indiana Fever, the record-setting rookie, sat down with none other than WNBA GOAT Sue Bird on the Bird's Eye View podcast. While discussing her brutal injury stretch, more on that later, the conversation turned back to the 2024 draft. And folks, Clark dropped a truth bomb that changes the narrative. She didn't just hope Indiana would win the lottery, she actively prayed another specific team wouldn't. That's right, Clark explicitly told Bird, I didn't want to go to LA, but I wanted Indiana to get the first pick.
I don't remember, but I didn't want to go to LA. But I wanted Indiana to get the first pick.
So them getting the first pick.
The Los Angeles Sparks holding the third best odds at 17.8% were the team she hoped would not land that #1 selection through lottery luck. This wasn't just passive preference, it was active avoidance. So why Indiana? Clark laid it out clear. I think Indiana was a good spot for me to start my professional career.
Whatever, and I think Indiana was a good spot for me to start my, professional career.
Why do you think that?
Clark's reasoning wasn't vague, it was deeply personal and strategically basketball smart. First and foremost, I'm a Midwest gal.
Why do you think that?
I'm a Midwest gal.
Okay.
This isn't just geography, it's identity. Coming from Iowa, where she became a cultural icon, the idea of landing in another passionate Midwest basketball city like Indianapolis felt like home. The fan connection she built in college, it had the perfect blueprint to continue in Indiana. But it wasn't just comfort. Clark, savvy beyond her years, looked at the roster.
I think the franchise was in a place of having the type of core players that could help make me successful too. We have AB, we had Kelsey was here, Lex was here.
She specifically cited the existing core to Sue Bird. We have AB, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell was here, Lexi Hull was here, and I think that was really attractive. So I knew for a while, and I didn't really tell anyone. Citation, user outline. Let's break this down. Aliyah Boston, AB, the 2023 Rookie of the Year, a dominant defensive-minded center and a proven efficient scorer, the ideal pick-and-roll partner. Kelsey Mitchell, a proven explosive scoring guard, already an all-star caliber player before Clark arrived, takes immense backcourt pressure off a rookie. Lexi Hull, a versatile wing known for defense and developing three-point shot, the glue player every superstar needs. This wasn't a rebuild, this was a retool. Indiana had young, established talent ready to win now. Clark saw a franchise not starting from scratch, but perfectly positioned to amplify her game and contend quickly. She didn't want to be the sole savior, she wanted to be the missing piece. And she kept this master plan quiet. Okay, so Indiana was a dream fit, but why the active aversion to LA? Clark didn't elaborate in depth to Bird, focusing instead on why Indy was right. But let's read the tea leaves by looking at the Sparks' situation. At the exact moment of the 2024 draft lottery, the Sparks were led by veteran superstar Nneka Ogwumike, their lone 2023 All-Star. She was the heart and soul, but, and this is a massive but, Ogwumike was an impending free agent. There was significant uncertainty about her future. Crucially, Ogwumike did depart in free agency, signing with the Seattle Storm before the 2024 draft. Citation, user outline. So from Clark's perspective, in late 2023 and early 2024, the Sparks' cornerstone might vanish. Who did that leave? The core, as Clark would have evaluated it pre-draft, likely included De'Arica Hamby, a talented forward but coming off a limited 2023 season, pregnancy. Her incredible 2024 All-Star and Team USA resurgence wasn't predictable. Then Odyssey Sims Jordan Canada. Veteran guards, but not considered elite primary ball handlers or scorers at that stage. Azura Stevens, a solid rotational post player. Compare that to Indiana's established young core of Boston, Mitchell, and Hull. LA's future looks significantly murkier. Was there a clear dominant post presence like Boston if Agwumaiki left? No. Was there a proven elite scoring guard like Mitchell? Arguably not. The Sparks looked like a potential rebuild, or at best, a team needing multiple rookies, Clark and their other high pick, to carry the load immediately from day one. For Clark, prioritizing winning and a supportive structure, Indiana's clarity and foundation were simply more appealing than LA's uncertainty, despite the market size. It wasn't about disliking LA, it was about the basketball fit being far less certain and potentially much harder. Fast forward to today, August 10th, 2025. Clark's vision for Indiana is being realized on court when she's healthy. But right now, health is the biggest opponent. That groin injury she aggravated back on July 15th against the Connecticut Sun? It's proven stubborn and severe. Last night, August 9th, as the Fever hosted the Chicago Sky, Clark missed her 20th regular season game and 21st game overall in this season. Let that sink in. As outlined in our headline, this marks the first time in her entire college or WNBA career she's been forced to sit out multiple consecutive games. Think about it, she played every single game for the Iowa Hawkeyes and battled through every single game of her grueling rookie WNBA season. This relentless string of absences, over half the regular season so far, is uncharted, frustrating territory for a competitor like Clark. The official word from the Fever remains cautious. There is no timetable for Clark's return to action. After aggravating that previous groin injury and also dealing with a quad issue earlier in the season, it's a brutal setback for her sophomore campaign, derailing the momentum from her record-breaking rookie year and this season's early strides. But here's the incredible part of the story Clark helped architect. The foundation she found so appealing, it's holding strong even without her. Facing a depleted Sky team also missing Angel Reese, back injury, the Fever showed resilience and firepower last night. Kelsey Mitchell, the scoring guard Clark specifically wanted to play alongside, put the team on her back with a game-high 26 points, including 4 clutch three-pointers. Lexi Hull, another player Clark named as a key attraction, stepped into the starting lineup due to more backcourt injuries. Sydney Colson out for season with torn ACL, Ari McDonald with broken foot, and delivered a massive 17 points, draining 4 of 6 from deep, and Aliyah Boston, the cornerstone post presence, added 15 points. The Fever dominated, building a solid halftime lead and exploding in the third quarter for a decisive 92-70 victory. This wasn't just beating a struggling team, this was a statement that the core Clark believed in can win, even amidst an injury apocalypse. They improved to 18-14, showing they are playoff ready, waiting for their superstar to return. So let's connect the dots with a dose of irony. Clark didn't want LA partly due to roster uncertainty. What happened? 1. Cameron Brink and went number 2 to LA, looking like a future star before her own devastating injury. 2. De'Arica Hamby has had an MVP caliber season in 2024, becoming an all-star and Olympian, proving the talent was there, but perhaps not as predictably as Indiana's core. 3. The Sparks did struggle initially post-Agwumaiki, validating the uncertainty Clark perceived. Meanwhile, Clark got her wish with Indiana's core, but injuries have robbed her of significant time with them this season. The basketball gods have a sense of humor, huh? The big question now, when Clark does return fully healthy, can this Fever core, the one she strategically chose, make the deep playoff run they're capable of? Can Mitchell, Boston, Hull, and Clark finally hit their peak together? And one final intriguing nugget from that Bird's Eye View podcast: Clark actually teased life after playing. Honestly, I might go back at one point in my life and coach college basketball, she said, reflecting on her Iowa days. She even joked about being a good WNBA ref. But coaching, that passion for the game, that understanding of fit and development she showed choosing Indiana, it sounds like a natural next chapter, way down the line. So there you have it, Caitlin Clark's draft secret revealed. LA was the fear, Indiana was the dream, built on Midwest roots and a rock-solid roster core. A core proving its worth even as she battles through an unprecedented injury stretch. What do you think? Was Clark right to want to avoid LA? Can the Fever win it all if she gets healthy? Smash that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. It truly helps the channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.